In this tutorial, I want to draw this sunny person who is wearing dark glasses or sunglasses in Inkscape. I'm using Inkscape 1.0. We'll start by going to File, Documents, Properties, and then you have this popping up, and then you go to Grade. We want to use the rectangular grid. Okay, go to New, and then I will give this, maybe let's give this 5, and the spacing X5 and the spacing Y5, and then the major grid I want to make it a 10. Now with something like that, and then I always like making the major grid color, the alpha channel, a bit higher for me to see. So this is what I would need. Now I would go for, let's go for our star and polygon tool, click it, and then choose star, and then with the corners choose 20. With the spoke ratio, choose 0.760 or 0.8 or 0.7, whichever way. It depends on the spokes that we want. And then go to Shift Control and target the center of 4 major squares, and then we draw something like this. Okay, and this, let's give it the color already. I use this color here. Now I will also go for the circle tool, and then at the same place, or sometimes when you are drawing at the same place, maybe it distorts a bit. Go to Shift Control and try to draw another circle. But you see, the problem is that the circle should be in the same place as the other one. Let's give it a different color for the time being, so that we know we are doing what we are doing. The circle should, the center should be at the same center. So we can use, you can somehow use the one of the squares here, to shift it in such a way that the circle that you drew is about less than, look at here, we gave 10, so let's have a space of 1 and 1 minor squares here, up and down. Okay, something like this is good. And then we select, we go to Shift, and with that selector, select this as well, and go to Path and Union. So then we have already our base. Now we want to do our glasses, so let's go to another place, or we can shift this up a bit. Let me shift mine up a bit so I have space. Now the next thing we do after drawing this is go for our circular ellipse tool, and then we draw an ellipse. Draw an ellipse more or less something like this. Let it be in at least one of these quadrants here. So we make it, extend it a bit. I'll extend mine to this, and then the top here, something like this. So give a space, one small, you can give one small square here, and then 2 here, or I think maybe the best thing for us to do is to rather give it 1.5 here. Okay, 1.5 here, 1.5 of the small squares, and then 1.5 here. So this lies in the middle more or less. We do a duplicate. You can do a duplicate by right clicking your mouse and go to duplicate, or you can go to edit and then go to duplicate. Now we move this to the same spacing, so we have equal spacing more or less, 1.5 small distances. Now we go for our rectangle tool, and then we draw a rectangle to join the here. So you can start from somewhere here more or less and draw a rectangle with you can use, I'm using 2 of the this thing, 2 of the squares more or less, or 2. You can also use 2.5. 2 is okay for this. Now I forgot to tell you something. Just close the document properties, because it's in the way, it's not doing anything for us. We've already set it, and then close it. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is to draw our rectangles here as well. So go for our rectangle tool, and then we draw a rectangle somewhere here at one small square above this one here. So we come somewhere here, and then we draw a rectangle. We use 3. I think 3 downwards is sufficient. Now the same thing, we'll do the same thing here. We do this, a rectangle, and then we use 3 of the smaller squares. Okay, now we select everything with this selector. Select this, and this. As you go to shift, pressing shift, you click everything, and then we go to path, and then go to union. Okay, so that we unify everything as one piece. Now go to object, fill, and stroke, and then with this selected, let's go to the fill part. The fill part, let's reduce the opacity a bit, because I want to distort this a bit. You see there are holes under. You see, I want to move this hole there to this point here, to one step of the smaller distance. So move it 1. Why do I need a grid? So that I have symmetry. Okay, so I put this also to 1, just the whole, the move it 1 1, just to have it a bit slanted. Now I think, anyway, I leave the grid there. Now with this, we go and let's select it and give it a color. So I gave it a black color. Now we move the alpha channel to make it very opaque, and then now we can move it to the sun to see how everything is. We after we place it, we can adjust it if we think it, but I think it's fitted very nicely. Now the next thing we want to do is to draw the mouth here. So go to your Bezier tool, and then we want to choose this one here, create spiral path. Okay, and then we want to draw it with using 6 smaller squares. So you can just think of 6 smaller squares, click, and when you get to the middle, more or less to the third, release your hand, and then go, and then the next like this, so that you have this. Now if in case your stroke is not strong enough, you can always come here and increase it. Okay, you can increase the stroke as you wish, but this is what I'm using. I'm using 0.265. Now I select it, and then I bring it somewhere here, anywhere you think is makes it reasonable. I place this at 1 2 3 4 4.5 more or less from down, or something like that. Is not necessary. You just see to it that it's a bit symmetric, and that's it. That's how you can draw this. I take the grid away, and then you can have a look. So thank you for watching. Please help me by subscribing to my channel, and please come again. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.